another episode of Routes Through Pokemon Adventures. I'm Ruby.
And I'm Shea Locke.
And together we are a father-daughter duo going through the Pokemon video games, Pokemon Adventures manga, and the Pokemon Anime. And this week we will be covering 5 chapters of the manga, 2 episodes of the anime, and some chronicles. But before we get into that, let's catch up on what we've been doing.
What have you been up to?
What? I went skiing yesterday.
Well, that's really fun.
Yeah, except for now it's today.
Who'd you go skiing with?
My mom.
Yeah. What for?
Your wife.
Why did you get to go skiing and nobody else did?
'Cause I'm special.
So your mother has a favorite child. Got it.
Yep.
Had nothing to do with the birthday date that we would do.
Nope.
Yeah, the girls' half birthdays, usually, they get to go on a date with their mom, and on the boys' birthdays, or around there, they get to go on a date with their mom, and I do the opposite. Usually. However, we did ours in summer, you and me, because we went to a tea ceremony, a Japanese tea ceremony thing, which was really fun. So then you did yours with your mom's closer to your birthday. Closer to it. It's still a little bit far off, but
I kind of want to do the same thing next year. Well, I don't care when I do mine with you, but I kind of want to go skiing again next year.
you want to go skiing again?
It's really fun. Well,
That's
except
good.
for the flying into the creek part, but other than that, it was fun.
I think the last time we caught up on stuff, we had finished the first volume of Stranger Things, Season 5. Since then, the rest of the season has aired. The finale in New Year's.
Was pretty good.
Yep, the finale was disappointing. And then we've ridden out a couple weeks of Conformity Gate conspiracies. And that was actually a ton of fun, honestly, to be involved in all the theorizing. And I wish it came to fruition. And I still hold out some hope that it might.
But, it's really stupid because, the Duffer Brothers in interviews were saying how they didn't want to do the same terrible mistakes that the last season of Game of Thrones did.
Yep.
But they did, a bunch of the same mistakes and even had a documentary afterwards explaining the mistakes, just like Game of Thrones.
Not explaining them, more excusing what was going on, I think. Probably. I didn't watch the documentary. I've just seen clips and stuff.
So stupid.
Like I said, I still maintain some hope because there's certain things that just are so blatantly out there that seem on purpose, but maybe they just really, really did a bad job. Suddenly.
Maybe. They did a really bad job.
I guess it wouldn't be even suddenly, because, one could argue that it went poorly because they started doing other projects, like producing the spin-off thing, and then they have this whole new deal with another company that isn't Netflix, so... So maybe they were just spending too much time on those things and not caring how their big series ended. It was all disappointing, though. But, like I said, Conformity Gate theorizing and all that stuff, it reminded me back when WandaVision came out, there was a lot of people being like, what could this mean? What's actually going on and stuff? And that was a really fun time to talk to friends and just other random people, even on the internet, about what could be going on and all the clues that we thought we saw and stuff. Some of that also ended up being disappointing by the end, but it was still a lot of fun. Anything else big in your life since last time?
I don't know. Christmas and New Year's happened.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yep, enjoyed Christmas and New Year's for sure.
I think I've had 2 quiz meets since the last episode.
So you didn't, get a regular job or anything, did you?
No, it's kind of still spaced out, and I got cut off.
Yes, you now have found employment beyond just babysitting. Well, just babysitting. You got paid well with babysitting, and still do, I think. But
when I rarely can do it.
Yeah. You actually had a fun adventure with that recently, too, where you had to go kind of late.
Mm-hmm.
Because of some emergency.
Yeah.
So that was exciting.
Mm-hmm.
On my end, I've just been, being lazy, taking naps all day, since I don't have to work until March.
And since you were around more, I thought, oh, hey, he could help me with my school. But instead, you're like, this is too hard for me.
That's not true. I helped
then
you.
You shut the computer and make me walk away.
What?
That's how you've behaved every single time I've asked for help.
That's absolutely not true. How did you come up with all those ideas on that one thing?
I needed decent ideas to just fill it out, but...
Yeah. But you have a handful of lessons to get through still before Friday. So hopefully our recording today doesn't take too much of your time so you can get to work.
Mm-hmm.
And I can go back to ignoring your schoolwork.
Slap you.
I did not progress any further in Z to A, which I really should have beaten, and so I can start doing DLC stuff, but I'm way behind on that because I got distracted with Metroid, which, Stranger Things, was not the only disappointment to me this year, because Metroid was a fun game, but it wasn't as fun as most other Metroids that I've played, and there was a whole section of story elements in one of the final areas that they did a certain trope that can be effective and emotional, but they did it on repeat throughout the whole thing. So it lost any kind of effect it would have. And then it was all fake out anyway, so it didn't even matter. And then they actually did it sort of for real at the very end of the game, but I'm like, I just don't care anymore. So, yeah, that was kind of a lame situation, but...
Yeah, the whole end was kind of stupid. I didn't watch most of the game, but the end was stupid.
Yeah, you were so mad that I pushed the button or whatever.
Why are you just leaving them behind?
Because that's all I could do.
You'd probably do it anyway. You said they were annoying.
They were. For the most part. Sometimes they were okay, but for the most part, I'm like, go away. I like to explore on my own without people chattering at me all the time. That's how Metroid usually works. The whole lone gunman type story. Granted, she's a woman, but you know. Anyway, I got Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 for the Switch version of it, for Christmas or something. And started playing that because I never played those games before, so that's been kind of fun. Kind of wanted to play them before the new Mario movie came out because it's sort of based off of those. And there was another game I got. What was it? Oh, Donkey Kong Bonanza. And that's been actually a lot of fun too.
I would never have guessed that.
Yeah, I got it for St. Nicholas Day, I think. But yeah, that one's been fun. Some of the controls are surprisingly, like the camera work when you're going, like plowing through a bunch of rocks and stuff, is bad. Like it reminds me of playing games on the original PlayStation or something, or N64, and I'm like, what is this?
What am I missing?
I guess. Just really weird for a Switch 2 game. But otherwise, it's been a lot of fun. And it's fun playing with the kids. I only play that when I have a partner.
I have never played that with you, and I've not really seen it being played.
Oh, really? Oh, banana! Every time you get a banana.
The rock is a banana! And I'm like, what? No, it probably wasn't that. But
the bananas are kind of like the stars you get in Odyssey. The game feels a lot like that, Odyssey. Except you're going through more and more layers of underground. But you can get like multi-bananas, just like the multi-stars and stuff too. Yeah, it feels very Odyssey-esque. So, it's fun. And you can get new fur colors and stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Yeah, so you don't have to be the traditional brown-looking Donkey Kong. You can be green or blue.
Or purple.
Probably. I don't know if I found purple yet.
Can you be pink?
I for sure know blue and green. Those are the first ones you can find. And I think I found another color, like red or something, but I don't remember.
Why are they all boy colors? Rude.
Well, Donkey Kong is a boy. I think you can start getting outfits for your little partner, too, because Pauline... Well, sorry, spoilers in case nobody knew, but all the trailers showed it was Pauline. So I was like, why do I have a weird little rock on my shoulder with me all the time? But eventually the rock breaks, and it's Pauline trapped inside of it.
That's what they were talking about. There was the rock. I heard about the rock, and then it was not a rock. It was this person. I'm like, what? I know who Pauline is, but the way I think people were trying to describe him to each other, and I was like, what are you guys talking about.
Yeah, but she seems like a young Pauline, not like the Pauline that's the mayor of New Donk City, which is kind of weird too. But anyway, I think that's all I got to say. So we can move on.
Now that we've chopped that up, let's dive into some manga. Starting with Adventure 187, Tongue-Tied Kecleon.
On the outskirts of Petalburg City, Ruby and Wally are treated to the dazzling display of Volbeats and Illumise lighting up the night. Because in the last chapter, Ruby decided he was going to help Wally catch Pokemon since his father went back on that deal. They're looking around at various Pokemon, and then they see a weird zigzag pattern, and it hits Mudkip. Thus begins a fight and chasing down of Kecleon, which Wally thinks would be really cool to have. Ruby lets Wally use Ralts to try and defeat, then catch Kecleon, and, after some more trial and error and keeping a lookout for the zigzag, Wally catches his Pokemon! But then, an earthquake or something hits, a part of the riverbank collapses, and Ruby falls in. He tries to tell Wally to take care of Rara before he is washed away.
Other way around. Rara, take care of Wally.
Ah, you're right. So he tells Rara to take care of Wally. Well, tries to. He doesn't finish. When Wally wakes up at home, he finds Rara carried him back and can sense that Ruby is alive, which relieves Wally. Then, with Rara and his new Kecleon, Wally boards a bus for Verdanturf Town, and there are 77 days left for the competition. And Verdanturf was where Wally was supposed to be going in the game, too, we learned. So, Any updates on the... any interesting updates on the update page between chapters?
You're asking that because you know there is one, aren't you?
Yep. Is there anything interesting, though? I don't remember.
They've got these little arrows pointing at where they're at. Because it's like Oldale Town, Route 102. And then it's an arrow below each person to show where they're at. And then the name of the place shows you where it is on the map. And it shows that Ruby skipped Route 104 and went to C Route 105.
Interesting, because he ended up washed away.
On Route 104.
Okay. That is actually kind of interesting. And their Pokemon are the same?
Well, obviously Rara is not there anymore. Don't ask dumb questions, Daddy.
All right, so where are we at now?
Adventure 188, Lombre Larceny.
Lombre Larceny.
Exactly. Lombre Larceny.
Do you know what larceny is?
Nope.
Theft.
Oh.
Back to the outskirts of Petalburg, Sapphire is on top of a fountain, reaching in to try and get something. She is definitely causing people to take notice, including the news lady and her cameraman that had covered Norman becoming the gym leader in that town. Apparently, a Pokemon got sucked into the drain and is lodged somewhere in the fountain. And eventually, Sapphire has her Aeron bite through part of the fountain and rescue the cast form that belongs to some old man, who turns out to be the president of the Devon Corporation. Remember the Devon Corporation in the game?
Yes.
Okay. The news crew want to interview her, but she isn't interested, and they notice that the mesh over the vent was destroyed, probably on purpose. 3 folks disguised as workers for the Department of Waterworks are watching from a distance and are on a phone call with their boss, who is the leader, I'm guessing, of Team Aqua.
That sounded so weird. Aqua.
They're choking you with their water. The plan was to kidnap the president, and it has to happen that day. They wanted to be secretive about it, but it seems like that will no longer be an option. The disguised individuals rip off their uniform disguises and reveal themselves to be members of Team Aqua. The president asks Sapphire if she would travel with him to the next city, Rustboro, but then she realizes there is still something in the fountain, and sure enough, 3 Pokemon burst out and attack. They are Lombre, Carvanha, and Sharpedo.
Then we go to Adventure 189, Mowing Down Ludicolo.
The president is knocked down as Lombre steals something from him and runs off, which is interesting because Lombre Larceny suggested that he was going to steal something, but he didn't do it until this chapter. Sapphire picks up the president and carries him as she chases down the thieving Pokemon. As they run and the TV crew follows, the TV crew start piecing together that it was all a plan, and Sapphire says she noticed the Team Aqua symbols on the 3 attacking Pokemon. In Petalburg Forest, they catch up to the trio of Team Aqua, and Sapphire demands answers. Then Lombre shows back up, and a water stone is used to transform it into Ludicolo, to make sure that Sapphire and Co. don't keep following them. There's a phone call with the Team Aqua boss again, and we learn the names of the trio are Matt, Amber, and Shelly. Now, that being said, 2 of these members are boys, and 1's a girl. So one of the names, Amber or Shelly, is actually a boy's name.
Amber could be a boy's name.
That's so good, Shelly. Look at the front of the book, see who it is, because they mention him in the very front, I think. Or maybe it's the front of the next book. It's probably the next book. I meant inside the front of the book. In the front of the book. Not look at the front of the book. Look in. It's probably the next one.
Amber's the boy. I'm so smart.
Oh, good job. They explain that they have secured the key component to some submarine in Slateport, and the boss, who we learn is Archie, says that all that is left is to leave no witnesses. Sapphire doesn't think they can win, but when the cast form turns into the Sunny form, and that lets her know fire moves will be powered up, and so she uses Torchic to get her, the president, and the TV crew free of Team Aqua and somewhere safer. Then, at the entrance to Rustboro, the president gives Sapphire a letter before collapsing from exhaustion. He told Sapphire he wanted her to bring it to a man named Stephen in Dewford Town when she goes through there. He is about to explain who Stephen is, too, but fails to do so before zonking out. I'm betting he was going to say that Stephen is his son, but we'll find out later, I'm betting.
Now, Adventure 190, Blowing Past Nose Pass.
Sapphire accepts the mission to deliver the letter, but she worries she won't be able to deal with the Team Aqua people again unless she gets stronger. So she needs to train more, and this brings her to the Rustboro Gym to challenge Gym Leader Roxanne. Roxanne. Only the gym looks like a classroom, and sure enough, Roxanne gives out exams and only lets whoever scores the highest to challenge her that day.
She does it once a week, but isn't it a gym leader's job that if there's a challenge, they have to accept?
I would think so, but I don't know.
I don't like this gym leader very much.
So study is important.
I feel like a lot of it is very unfair the way she battles and has the challenges.
Yeah, she's not great. But anyway, studying is apparently important here. Sapphire has some trouble reading some of the words on the exam.
Trouble.
But others help her, and she scores 100% because she knows all the information thanks to being raised by Professor Birch and working with him.
Yep. I was trying to see if I could answer the questions. I was like, oh.
It was just the reading part that was a struggle. Her handwriting is also not great. During all this, the reporter and her cameraman were discussing the story about the president and the team that were missing with him. They're not allowed to report on it yet, but they do some investigating, and this is when they learn Team Aqua's name. Back at the gym, Roxanne has all the stadium seating move, turning her lecture hall into a gym for battling. She tells Sapphire to take the challenger side, and then they send in their Pokemon to battle, and only 2 Pokemon for each trainer may be used. Sapphire starts with Aron, and Roxanne with Nosepass. Sapphire decides to switch out for Torchic, but, for some reason, Aron can't be returned to his Pokeball. Meanwhile, out on Sea Route 105, a Wingull named Pico spots a boy floating on driftwood. It's Ruby! The Wingull's trainer uses a net and drags the boy onto his boat, as he has to help him because of the Seaman's Code. There are 76 days left for the bet. And now we have some trivia. So the Japanese version of Sapphire, when she's taking the test, only has trouble reading kanji specifically. She doesn't have troubles with the hiragana letters. It's the kanji. She doesn't have all those memorized, so she doesn't know what they all mean.
Oh.
And kanji is a lot more complicated.
Interesting.
So I thought that was interesting. Her handwriting still sucks, I think, but...
And that wraps up Volume 15, so we move on to Volume 16 and Adventure 191. Blowing Pass to Nose Pass 2.
Back to Sapphire's battle with Roxanne, it is discovered that Nosepass has a magnet ability that is making it so Aron, a steel type, can't be returned. Sapphire tries to have Aron get out of range, but then it can't land any attacks because it has to be close for them. Meanwhile, the rock moves of Nosepass can reach Aron. Eventually, Aron is completely covered in rocks, and it seems the match is over. Roxanne won. Because while they can use 2 Pokemon, as soon as one is knocked out, it is apparently over. Roxanne opens the door so that Sapphire can leave, but she is still down by all the rubble. A breeze blows in and it reveals something to Sapphire. So when Roxanne tries to leave, Sapphire informs her that the match is not over. Suddenly, Aron pops out from behind Nosepass, who tries to turn around and spins in a circle and is then taken out by Aron. Sapphire reveals she pieced together that Roxanne had her take a specific side of the stadium because Nosepass's nose always points north or something like that, and so it couldn't turn around, and that is what confused it, allowing for Sapphire's victory. And that's also why she had to be on the certain side of the stadium.
Yeah, I feel like that's a bit unfair.
Yeah, but she still figured it out and got it.
Yeah.
Sapphire is awarded her first badge, and now she plans to head to Dewford to deliver the letter to Stephen. And then we see a young man with hair that looks like it might match Stephen's silhouette from when President Stone asked for the letter to be delivered. He is standing at the edge of a cliff, talking to someone called Captain Stern. And he's talking on a phone or something. So we don't see Captain Stern. He has a Metagross with him and learns that the submarine is almost complete, so he informs Stern he'll head over as soon as he is done investigating Granite Cave. And remember, Team Aqua was doing something with the submarine too, so is he in league with Team Aqua?
Guess we'll see.
To be continued.
Now we're moving on to our anime, starting with the Pokemon Chronicles episode of Meowth and Pokemon, or Dia no Mirianamon Tan, or the Millennium Town Encounter. And then the other episode, since there's 2 parts, but it's kind of like one episode, Arubaito wa Taihan Nayasu, or Nairath with a part-time job.
That's right. So, Meowth is back in Big Town for some reason, which we assume the town is located in Johto because of when it showed up in our watching before, because it was attached to one of the movies.
Well, he's on vacation from Team Rocket.
I guess, but this just seems so random. Meowth narrates, and we are reunited with the Pichu Brothers and the Pokemon that hang out in the Junkyard Fort. Meowth will run into all these Pokemon, and so we have a Rockin' reunion for the Pichu Brothers and a second Rockin' reunion for the other Pokemon, because we've had the Pichu Brothers separated from them before. The Junkyard friends were going to have a meal put together by Azumarill, but an accident spills it all over to be crushed by a vehicle driving by. Meowth is hanging out in an apartment with an interesting gizmo that pours coffee for himself as he wakes up. Kind of reminds me of the sequencing gadgets from Goonies or Back to the Future or things like that. Meowth packs his lunch in a basket and goes to find out a great place to put a statue of himself. Teddy Ursa is wandering around elsewhere looking for food and smells Meowth's food, but Meowth chases him off. Then Meowth ends up running into a Smoochum, actually it's more like Smoochum ran into Meowth, but whatever, who is also carrying an identical basket with her own things in it that are not food. So Meowth, realizing the basket's got... after they pick them up, Meowth finds out he has the wrong basket, and so he needs to get his lunch back. Smoochum runs to the junkyard, and after some antics, Meowth gets his basket back and ends up stomping on Houndour's head on his way out. Houndour chases him all around, the basket gets flung into the air, and Meowth escapes. Teddy Ursa is looking longingly at some food in a window, and then the basket lands on his head, and he eats it all before Meowth finds it, and once he does, he is devastated. And I think that was about the end of part 1. And so then we have part 2, which is Meowth gets a job working for a pizza delivery service to get money for his statue. He recruits the Junkyard Gang to help deliver the pizzas, but each one has a mishap. Teddy Ursa specifically eats his pizza before he gets to the address. Failing that job, Meowth got a job in a garden and got help again. And it is a disaster as well. So Meowth gives up, for now, after getting fired a second time. The Junkyard Gang felt bad for messing up his jobs he tricked them into doing, and so they feed him acorns, which he doesn't enjoy.
Our tally for that episode is just the rockin' reunion with the Pichu brothers and Junkyard for Pokemon.
Yep.
And for the title, I guess we had
an exclamation point for each one. Or no,
but the second one also had a question mark.
Ah, yes. So you kind of have 3 over the whole course.
Yeah, it was all weird. So then we go to our next Pokemon Chronicles, Trouble in Big Town, or Bokutachi Pichu Burazazu Fusen Sodo, or We're the Pichu Brothers, Balloon Disturbance.
So the Pichu brothers love to play, and they head to the junkyard to do so, and they call in all their friends, and so Magby, Smoochum, Wooper, and Teddy Ursa all come out to play as well. They all have some fun on a seesaw, but when Wooper gets flung off and lands on a pipe, he slides down, and it seems like so much fun, everyone else wants to do that. But when they line up, one of the Pichu bros cuts to the front, and causing an argument between the two bros. They fight. Magby tries to break it up and gets knocked down to the ground. He gets mad and is about to explode with a flamethrower again, but Teddy Ursa stops him by squirting him with Wooper. The Pichu Bros charge up in their anger and fry everyone in some friendly fire. One of the bros slides down into junk and rolls off on a skateboard out cold. Wooper chases him on a roller skate. They roll right by Azumarill in her garden, and they stop in the middle of the road and almost get hit by a truck. Azumarill quickly gets them out of the way with water gun.
Like, it's good that they save these because they can't have that in a kid's show, but they have that possibility, which is just gruesome and bad. Imagine if the truck didn't get stopped. What would happen then?
The truck didn't stop.
Didn't get stopped. Oh, yeah. Imagine if the truck did hit them. There would be blood and guts everywhere. The Pokemon would be dead.
You do realize that's in all kinds of movies and shows, including kids' shows, like near misses and stuff.
This is too brutal for children.
Okay.
They've got interesting sisters and
I think I have concerns for your children as you're raising them if this is just too much. Back at the junkyard, the other Pichu bro is worried about his brother when he wakes up, since he's missing. The one with Wooper is headed back but gets distracted by some balloons. And Wooper is hilarious as it follows the Pichu in sort of a caterpillar squirm motion. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Pichu unties the balloons and ends up floating away. The other Pichu with the rest of the gang show up to the park looking for the missing Pichu. They find the skateboard and skate, but no Wooper or Pichu. Azumarill catches on to their search and points them in the right direction. Teddy Ursa gets distracted by acorns all over the ground and starts munching. Eventually, they spot Pichu, but then the wind takes the balloon Pichu into knocking paint cans down, causing the crew to bounce onto a Houndour, who is then covered in paint and chases the crew. They all fall into some water when a Feraligatr shows up and saves them. As Pichu's strength is fading, the one on the balloons, a Murkrow shows up and starts popping the balloons. It freaks Pichu out, but, well, it is just lowering Pichu down slowly. Teddy Ursa sees this and rescues Pichu from the last part of the fall using Wooper. Wooper's just a tool.
Wooper's funny.
Yeah, I really do enjoy Wooper in these episodes.
Because Wooper, Quagsire, Wobbuffet, all those guys, the best.
They all head back to the junkyard, where the Pichu brothers get into an argument again, now that they know each other are safe or whatever. As electricity starts to fly, Magby runs off and brings Azumarill back, who arrives just in time for the Pichu bros to explode their electricity and hitting everyone with friendly fire again.
But They brought Azumarill, the water Pokemon, just in time to be exact.
Yep. And Azumarill is mad and starts shooting water gun everywhere. With some more friendly fire, water gun hits Smoochum, who gets mad and starts firing ice beams. These start freezing the water gun blast into all these twisty ice sculptures. An ice brick breaks off of one and hits Magby, who starts blasting flamethrower everywhere, which cuts grooves into the ice sculptures. And in the end, they have awesome slides going everywhere. They all line up because it all starts in the same place somehow. Pichu tries to cut again, but this time a calmer discussion takes place, and everyone takes their turn and starts zooming all over the place with the branching paths in the slides.
I don't know if it necessarily all starts there. There's different paths, but it could be possible.
All I could see is they all lined up at the same spot, went down the same thing, but then it branched off from there.
Tallies! We have 3 friendly fires. That's it. We're not getting a whole lot here, guys. Sorry.
Nope.
All right. Now for our 3rd, 4th, for our next Pokemon Chronicles. Big Meowth. Well, it kind of has big dreams, but little dreams. Or, oh my goodness, what is
this? This is another part 1, part 2 thing.
Okay. So, 3rd, 4th, 5th, something like that. Metanteai Naisu Sanjo, calling Great Detective Nirath.
Nyarth. That's Meowth's name because it's Meow, Nya, Nyarth.
And for part 2, Meiko Rudidi Diamakwako. Or Rudidi, the niece is a great nuisance.
Oh, Rudidi is Azurill. So Meowth has 2 days left on his vacation. This seems like maybe it should have taken place at a different time than if he's on vacation, like in a break with some other episodes. I don't know, because they were almost to Rustboro and then they're going to be in Rustboro, but whatever. Meowth has given up on his monument and now he just wants to sit down and enjoy a nice lunch in the park. Then his sandwich runs away.
I knew what it was right from the get-go. Get-go.
Yeah. It's actually a chameleon, but, you know.
I'm so funny.
We eventually get a sight of a zigzag, which indicates that a Kecleon is the one stealing it. Meanwhile, Azumarill was getting things together for a meal again, but this time in preparation for little Azurill from out of town. Meowth ruins it all in his chase of Kecleon and his sandwich. The Junkyard Gang, the ones who were there, decide to follow. Then Kecleon trips and the sandwich ends up in Teddy Ursa's mouth. The Junkyard Gang notice footprints and so they follow those to find the thief. As Meowth tries to figure it out, the zigzag runs by and they all see it and chase it down to an area that has a ton of zigzags painted all over the walls, thanks to Smeargle. So they couldn't find the thief, but an apple is taken from Smeargle, and so they knew it was there, and so they had Smeargle throw paint everywhere, which covers the Kecleon. It didn't know it was seen yet, and still tried to sneak away. Meowth hits it and steps on it, pretending it didn't know where it was. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
But then it's all made clear, and they give chase, following the paint footsteps. Turns out Kecleon was taking care of Azurill, which is the one that Azumarill was waiting for. Having Azurill there made Azumarill so happy that everyone was invited to the picnic, and they all had a good time. And so then we have part 2, which picks up with Azumarill making another meal for Azurill, and she had the Pichu brothers babysitting and acting as playmates for Azurill. But they get into an argument, as they seem to often do, and so then Azurill disappears. Meowth was elsewhere, and tired and bored, but then he found a beautiful Skitty on a balcony, and he wanted to woo her. He tries poetry at first, and it doesn't go well. The Pichu Bros call the Junkyard Gang together to help them find Azurill. The Azurill cluelessly avoids traffic that almost kills it as it crosses the street. The Junkyard Gang are responsible and actually go over a crosswalk. Then Azurill bounces on Wooper, and so does everyone else in an effort to follow Azurill. Wooper joins the pursuit, Meowth steals roses off a dress in a display window so he can give the bouquet to Skitty. Azurill falls off the edge and down toward the river, oblivious again, but Feraligatr comes up at the right time, and Azurill bounces off of it and to the other side of the river. Meowth climbs up a ladder to deliver the flowers to Skitty, but then Azurill sees this and tries to get up there and gathers a bunch of laundry, and then swoops by, switching the laundry with the flowers just as Meowth wakes up Skitty.
Did Azurill do that on purpose?
Looked like it did.
Oh, I thought it was just like...
I thought it was an accidental thing at first, but when I rewatched it, I'm like, you little punk. You just wanted those flowers for yourself and thought this was funny.
Oh, yeah, Azurill's completely annoying, I think.
Seeing the laundry as a gift, Skitty is upset and scratches Meowth, while Azurill sits up high with the flowers, laughing. So then Meowth brings a pie to Skitty, but Azurill wants that and steals that too, so Skitty doesn't see it. And so it looks like Meowth just ate it and brought a plate of crumbs. Finally, Meowth gets a guitar, which he's apparently great at, because I really liked the music he was playing even. His singing maybe not so much, but he was playing good music. And that seems to work on Skitty. But then Azurill shows up, bouncing around, and Meowth loses his cool on the Azurill and brings the guitar down on the little blue Pokemon, hitting Skitty instead.
Ooh.
Azurill thinks Meowth's situation is hilarious. Now, I recognize that Meowth did steal flowers for part of this whole thing, but most of what Meowth was doing was okay. And Azurill is just kind of a punk, as we've discussed. So I was kind of on Meowth's side when he decides to go chasing Azurill across the rooftops. Azurill is about to fall off the roof. The Junkyard Gang arrive and try to rescue Azurill with a water blast from Wooper, but Azurill moves beyond it, and Meowth gets hit instead and goes flying away somewhere else, where he is then squished by a Snorlax. And so Meowth goes back to bed in the apartment so that he could be ready for his return to Team Rocket.
Team Rocket's Rocket. So we had actually quite a few tallies for this episode. We had that one, and the other one, and that one.
No tallies. We had no tallies.
We had an exclamation point and a question mark. For part 1, it was an exclamation point. For part 2, it was a question mark. And now I believe we finished our Pokemon Chronicles.
Yep.
So now we're moving on to our 2 normal episodes, starting with episode 291, or season 6, episode 15. Gonna Rule the School, or Benkyo Shimasu Pokemon Torenazu Sukuru, or Try to Study Pokemon Trainers School.
All right, so back to the main show. Ash and Co. have arrived in Rustboro City. They are all enjoying the view from a tall tower that kind of reminded me of the Lumiose City Tower. Lumiose is the city in ZNA, Z-Day, or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It also reminded us of something else. This tower. Mm-hmm. With the glass windows and staring out over the city. Okay, I didn't think of it right off the bat, but Ruby did, but she cannot remember that she was reminded of Final Destination.
Oh, we recently watched. I couldn't picture what.
It was the latest Final Destination, Bloodlines.
I was kind of picturing just like a stick. I didn't imagine the big top. Yeah, that. Yeah, we just watched that one, and not just like probably within a week or two.
Yeah,
of watching this, and I was like, Daddy, something bad's going to happen. And you're like, oh my, hopefully there's no kid with a penny.
Anyway, while they're in the tower, the gang find a lost Poliwag. It has something wrapped around its tail, and the symbol marks it as part of a school, and the teacher and the students arrive to find it. The teacher there is Roxanne, the gym leader, though none of the gang know that yet. The kid who lost the Poliwag is Kenny, and he is apparently afraid to touch Pokemon. Tommy, who has Magby, is clearly the jerk of the group. Anyway, the gang, learning about the school, decide to join Roxanne and the students to check it out. They learn there are classes for Pokemon doctors, for competing in contests, which May wants to sign up for, and for Pokemon battles. The whole time, Ash is anxious to get to his gym battle, and Max wants to get to Roxanne's beginner class. Meanwhile, Team Rocket have an idea to set up a tourist trap booth to make money from sightseers in Rustboro.
It's not technically that bad.
Right.
If they, they're really good at doing, normal businessy stuff. They should just stick to that.
Right? They should.
Cheating. And also, they keep trying to steal all these Pokemon. Just go catch them and you'd be better out.
Yep. At the beginner's class, they find Professor Oak is on a video call giving a lecture. Oak reveals Roxanne is the gym leader when he asks who won, thinking that Ash already fought against her. And then Roxanne asks if the gym battle can wait since she is teaching her class until the next evening, which Ash is fine with. In the classroom, we see a girl a couple of times with an Eevee giving us an evolution count.
Well, I saw her.
Yes, you spotted it. Tommy tries to quiz Max to show he isn't as smart as him, but Max knows all the answers.
Sucks to be you, Tommy.
Yeah. May is trying hard to find a way out of the gym battle, and she really doesn't want to do those. Getting a tour of the academy, they look at all the Pokeballs and learn that those Pokemon are trained to obey anyone at the academy. Team Rocket decides to steal them, and then we have our Who's That Pokemon trivia. This Pokemon is the second evolutionary stage of Totodile.
That's so obvious.
Ash works with Pikachu some more on his Iron Tail attack. The next day, Max joins the beginner class for the day. Ash and Brock watch the class too, but May left to join the contest class. Ash and Brock show off their Pokemon, and Brock has Lotad use Water Gun, which he doesn't until Brock gets up close and personal, and then friendly fire right to the face. Ash tries to get Kenny to be a bit braver and introduces his Pikachu to him, so Tommy accidentally steps on Poliwag, causing it to shoot Water Gun, which almost hits Kenny, but Max saves him. Outside, Max and Tommy have a 1-versus-1 Pokemon battle, and it's a Poliwag versus Magby, but Max overthinks his attacks, and so he's probably going to end up losing. However, it all gets interrupted when Team Rocket arrives in a busted bot with an interesting intro.
Prepare for trouble, we're in a class of our own.
Make it double, or leave well enough alone. They have already stolen all the Pokeballs they were after. A battle ensues, and when May sends in Wurmple, Jessie brings out hers. But she just shows it off and puts it away because it's too cute for the icky battle.
Oh, yep.
Then Max and Tommy get into the battle following Kenny's advice because he does have an understanding of battles, even though he's afraid to touch Pokemon. They all let Kenny strategize with Tommy and Max to deal with Team Rocket so they can all learn. It turns out that while Team Rocket was distracted with Poliwag, Magby was heating up the bot. And when Wobbuffet comes out, he can't even say his whole Wobbuffet because his feet start burning. He's like, Wobba, Wobba, Wobba. It was hilarious to me. One of the students sends in Pidgey to free the Pokeballs, and Roxanne sends in Geodude with a rollout attack to send Team Rocket blasting off again. Ding! Now Kenny can touch Pokemon, and all the boys are getting along now. And tomorrow, it will be time for the gym battle.
But it's not yet, so who's that Pokemon? It's Croconaut, guys. If you didn't know, you're an idiot. Especially since if they listened to the game episodes last time, I evolved my Totodile, so come on now. Our tallies are Friendly Fire, Busted Bot, Interesting Intro, Interesting Intro, and Evolution. We had 3 whole exclamation points.
Whoop, whoop.
More excited it was 3.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay, Whooper.
Whoopa.
Whoopa. Whoopa. I think that's part of a song or something, isn't it?
Oompa, oompa, doopity doo. I've got another riddle for you.
Okay. Now it's time to rank it.
Alright, gonna rule the school. Let's see. I think below In the Nicker of Time and above A Bite to Remember. So, gonna rule the school is number 9 out of 15.
Now we're going to our last episode for the day. Season 6, episode 16. The Winner by a Nose Pass. Or
616, I think that's the main Marvel universe.
It's the Murder Day.
Okay.
What? You didn't hear anything.
Anyway.
Or, Kanazumi Jimu no Zupasu no Himitsu Haiki. Or, Kanazumi Jim Nose Pass's secret weapon.
I think Nozupasu is nose pass.
No. It means Jim.
Nose pass, yes.
It means Jim.
No, Jimu is Jim. Anyway.
No, Jimu is probably nose pass.
Ash is continuing to train Pikachu and his Iron Tail, but it seems he is still having trouble using it twice in a row. I think he needs a PP up, because maybe he just only has one use. When they ask May what her strategy is for the gym, she says she'll pass. She doesn't want to do the gym. Then she admits that she never wanted to be a trainer and just wanted to explore, and she didn't like Pokemon. But now she does like Pokemon, and she wants to compete in contests. Meanwhile, Team Rocket are discovering that Roxanne is a gym leader, and they intend to dig a tunnel into the gym, kind of like they did with the Bug Gym in Johto. At the gym, the battle rules are 2 versus 2, and only the challenger can substitute a Pokemon during the match. Roxanne starts out with Geodude, and Ash brings out Trico, which I think should make short work of this battle. But then Max even points out that fact. He's like, yeah, grass Pokemon are good against Rock, which I tried to bring up before. However, Brock reveals that Trico doesn't actually know any grass attacks yet.
Ooh.
So I thought that was interesting. However, if you just train the stupid Pokemon, then it would.
It has to go train itself by smacking a rock.
Right? Anyway. Its diving tail attack still was decent since it practiced it on rocks before at the waterfall.
The rocks, that's
yeah.
good.
However, it still isn't enough. And then he's taken out with a rollout. So now Pikachu is up. This seems odd to Roxanne and her interns since it is an electric type. After an awesome...
Rock just beat grass, so is it really that odd?
Right. Well, actually it was a ground move that just beat grass, but still, the point is still accurate. Like it was a rock Pokemon, but it was a ground move. Yeah, so it seems odd to Roxanne and the intern since it's an electric type to bring up Pikachu there. After an awesome display of Pikachu's electric attacks, we get our Who's That Pokemon trivia. This Pokemon has a shell like sheetrock. Yeah, we've talked about that one before. And then we catch up with Team Rocket digging their tunnel. Jesse wants to buy a digging machine, and James rightly explains that getting machines all the time is why they are always in debt. Back to the gym battle, there's some back and forth, but Geodude's rollout can't work very well anymore, thanks to the destruction of the field with the first Thunder attack. Then Pikachu wins with an electric attack that shouldn't work, of course. So then Roxanne sends in Nosepass. Ash and Pikachu start off with Iron Tail, which does some good, but Nosepass is still in it. Ash has Pikachu go again, but Iron Tail fails, because he still can't do it twice in a row. Team Rocket is right under the gym floor now. Back to the battle, a lot of dust is kicked up so Pikachu can't see, but Nosepass can use the magnetic nose to find Pikachu. Nosepass goes for Thunder Wave against Pikachu, who dodges, and just then a shovel pokes up out of the floor and the Thunder Wave hits that instead. The charge zaps down and sends Team Rocket out of their tunnel and blasting off again! Ding! Back to the gym battle, Roxanne thinks it's over, but Ash and Pikachu haven't given up. Then Pikachu rushes in, and Nosepass uses Zap Cannon, and Pikachu absorbs the shock, charging up Pikachu. It charges towards Nosepass and paralyzes Nosepass, with its basic ability, I guess. Like Pikachus have in Fire Red Leaf Green, no? And I'm going to guess if we find a Pikachu in Ruby and Sapphire, it'll be the same. So it paralyzes Nosepass, and then Pikachu goes for Iron Tail one more time, and it finally works again, and defeats Nosepass. Ash earns his stone badge, the first of his Hoenn badges.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Pupitar, with a shell-like sheetrock.
Nice and hard.
Our tallies are, well, we had one for that, and we had another one for that, and one more for that.
Once again, no tallies.
You keep spoiling it.
How many exclamation points?
3! And now to rank it. Maybe right below in the nicker of time and right above gonna rule the school.
It's just the same place I put it. That's why it stays so high, because everybody keeps putting their things right underneath a nicker of time.
Well, it could go above in the nicker of time, actually.
You want it above a nicker of time?
Yeah, do that, actually.
Okay. And that makes the winner by a nose pass number 8 out of 16.
Oompa! Now we have to capture a Pokemon.
Yep, it's our time to choose our standout Pokemon, or who was our favorite, or whatever.
Yep.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Wait, we can choose from Pokemon Chronicles too, right?
Correct.
Okay,
3.
You don't know what I'm choosing, though.
3, 2, 1.
Pichu?
Oopa!
Oh, yeah, Wooper was super fun. I should have chosen him.
I was actually about to choose Pichu, and at the last minute changed my mind.
I should choose Wooper. No, they should both be in there. It's good. They should both be in there.
I like it.
Not one should get more. They should just both be. So now that we've finished the episodes and manga, it's time for Pokemon cards. Today we're both opening Mega Evolution with a Venusaur on them.
And just to be clear, these have been the Mega versions.
You can't read the trading cards.
Oh, you can't? His big old flower thing. All right, my first one is Beware. Evolves from Stuffle, colorless. The moves it uses to take down its prey would make a martial artist jealous. It tucks subdued prey under its arms to carry them to its nest. Those Beware I got from raids during the safari thing in November. That was a lot of fun. Those are cool with like little kind of raggedy cape things and stuff. I like that. I have Helioptile, I think is how you say it. Electric type. The sun powers this Pokemon's electricity generation. Interruption of the process stresses Helioptile to the point of weakness. Ralts, psychic type. The horns on its head provide a strong power that enables it to sense people's emotions. Didn't know those were horns, did you? Makuhita. Oh, man, we're just getting all the things from our playthrough. Makuhita, Ralts. Fighting type. It grows stronger by enduring harsh training. It is a gutsy Pokemon that can withstand any attack. I got another Premium Power Pro item trainer card. This one's not reverse holo like I got last time. I have Grumpig, evolves from Spoink, psychic type. Ability, Energize Steps. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may use this ability. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck and attach any number of basic energy cards you find there to your Pokemon in any way you like. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck. It can perform odd dance steps to influence foes. Its style of dancing becomes hugely popular overseas. Ooh, Stadium Trainer card, Forest of Vitality. Each player's grass Pokemon can evolve into grass Pokemon during the turn they play those Pokemon, except during their first turn, like the first turn of the game. My first reverse holo is Tinkaton, evolves from Tinkatuff, steel type, metal type. This intelligent Pokemon has a very daring disposition. It knocks rocks into the sky with its hammer, aiming for flying Corviknight. My second reverse holo is Pyroar, evolves from Litleo, fire type. Intimidating Fang ability. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, attacks used by your opponent's active Pokemon do 30 less damage. The mane of a male Pyroar heats up to over 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit during battle. Merely approaching it will cause severe burns. And the picture is a male Pyroar, which are rarer to find, at least in Pokemon Go. And my rare is Alakazam, which is also my special card, but this is a different like art and picture and everything. But it has the same ability, same information, psychic card. And my basic energy is psychic.
My first Pokemon is Pachirisu, electric. It's one of the kinds of Pokemon with electric cheek pouches.
I think you've gotten this one
It
before.
shoots charges from its tail. I think so. Grafai evolves from...
I think you got that one before, too.
I know I did.
Because you had trouble saying its name.
Do you want me to read it?
Nope.
Nestle, fighting type.
Nackli, I think. But yeah, I think you got that, too. This seems like almost like a pack like you already got. Are you repeating it back?
Chikorita, grass type. I've gotten this exact one.
I think so.
I know, because I was like, oh, that's a cute picture. Which can evolve to Bailey.
Hold on. Give me your deck, stack. Give me your stack. Yeah, Pachirisu, Garafai, Nacli, Chikorita. Mm-hmm. That's in the same order, right? Oh. Ninetales next?
That might have gotten mixed up. Oh, no!
Okay, but your first 4 were the exact same order and everything. That was insane!
Oops. Ninjask evolves from Nincada, grass type. I think I've gotten a Nincada before. Ability, Cast Off Shell. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may use this ability. Search your deck for a Shedinja and put it onto your bench. Then
that does sound familiar. I might have gotten that card before. All right. Oh, yeah, you do have an Nincada, though.
I was pretty sure I got an Nincada. This Pokemon is so quick it is said to be able to avoid any attack. It loves to feed on tree sap.
Heracross.
Marsh Shadow.
Ooh.
Fighting. This Pokemon can conceal itself in any shadow, so it went undiscovered for a long time. Item. Trainer card. Fighting Gong. Search your deck for a basic fighting energy card or a basic fighting Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. My first reverse holo is a Celebi. Grass type. Really an uncommon. I got Rainbow Celebi on here before.
I love Celebi.
Me too.
Actually, I recently got the silver bottle cap, which is kind of like the gold bottle cap. In Pokemon Go, do you remember that? So the gold bottle cap lets you train up all the different stats.
Okay.
So that you can, if you do all the quests within a year, you can get them all the way up to the full, so you can make them a perfect Pokemon. Yeah. Silver just lets you train up one specific stat. Oh. So I have my Pokemon Go shiny Celebi, and he has one that was already full and 2 that weren't, so I'm not going to have a perfect one, but I have one that was only 1 away from being up there and one that was 2 away, so I have the one that was 2 away getting up there, so he'll be close to perfect.
This Pokemon traveled through time to come from the future. It bolsters grass and trees with its own strength, and it can heal wounds, too.
Oh.
Ooh. What?
I like that guy, too.
My second reverse is Delmise. Grass. After lowering its anchor, it waits for its prey. It catches large Willard and drains their life. Okay. Better version of last week. Or last time. This one goes.
Oh, you got a Mama Snow again, but you got like a extended art or alternate art.
Yeah, the other one was just in the top. And
these are your cards.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I handed them back. Well, yeah, I got another Mega Abominusno.
Yeah, you got like an alternate secret rare thing or whatever.
Yeah, that one's cooler than the other one.
It's not as pretty, I guess, but it is cool looking. The other one had some really pretty coloring to it.
And then a Steel Energy.
So, once again, out of the 3 Mega Evolution packs, every time you've got a Mega Evolution. And how many do I have?
I'm sure you're going to get
0.
one. I'm sure you'll get one. It's okay, guys.
This is not going well for me.
I'm sure you'll get one.
Anyway, very cool. You got some cool stuff.
All right. Well, that concludes our episode for today. Routes Through Pokemon is a Hunterfield Institute production. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and other podcasting platforms. You can also find us on YouTube at Hunterfield Institute. Just look for the Routes Through Pokemon playlist. And wherever you find us, like, subscribe, rate, and review. Or you can reach out to us at hunterfieldmanor@gmail.com. You can also find our updated rankings, our tally counts, and other cool stuff on our Facebook page at Routes Through Pokemon. Shea Locke also posts on Twitter or X at HunterfieldIns or on Instagram at kinetic_card. Next week, we will be back to the game and covering our journey to the 2nd gym. So thank you so much for listening, and we will catch you on the next route.
Bye-bye. Sayonara. Part 63. Confrontational Questioning. Violet sat in a chair across the desk from an officer. She had drained the bottle of water in front of her and ate what she could of the salty serving of food. That and getting out of the sun had helped a lot, and her vision had basically cleared. Bright light still aggravated a continued headache, however. All right, let's see if we can clear this matter up. Ma'am, will you please explain what you witnessed again? The woman addressed sighed, and Violet recognized her as the attendant that had tried to facilitate the Meowth trade.
As I explained twice before, this young lady arrived with another. They both placed in their Pokeballs. An error occurred. Tried again, and the result was the same. There was an issue in confirming the young lady's identity. The Meowth was registered to a Margaret. When questioned, the young lady admitted her name is not Margaret. The young lady fled instead of explaining the discrepancy.
Look, I don't understand why it said Margaret was the trainer. I had accidentally hurt that Meowth and had only caught it so I could bring it to a Pokemon Center. But it was my Pokeball I threw and caught the Pokemon. I don't even know a Margaret.
Then why did you flee?
The attendant asked. It does look bad, the officer admitted. It is odd enough that you have a Pokemon that isn't registered to you, but then to run away? That isn't what an innocent person does.
It's because I knew that no one would believe the truth since it was just a 10-year-old's word against the system.
As it should be. The data doesn't lie,
the attendant stated.
Unless someone altered the information,
Violet argued. Except, the officer started, why would anyone do that?
Well, I don't really know,
Violet admitted.
But I've been having a lot of trouble ever since leaving home. There's this gang, I think they call themselves the Rockets, and they keep trying to steal my Pokemon.
So you're saying this Rocket gang hacked into the Pokemon Center's trading machine and altered the ID on the Pokemon?
Maybe?
And they knew to do it here, in Vermilion, because they knew you would trade here with a random Pokemon you hurt? Seems like a stretch.
And impossible,
the attendant added. The officer turned his attention to the woman. Impossible? How so?
The only way to access the system is at the station itself, and the only ones accessing it are myself and the two trading. I was there the whole time, and no rocket person could have been tampering with it without me noticing.
Violet gave a nervous glance toward the attendant before looking back down at her knees.
Unless a rocket was disguised as an attendant.
How dare you suggest that I am some kind of criminal? I take my duties very seriously. Unlike you, child, I hold a high regard for law and order. To be accused otherwise is a grave insult upon my honor, and I
Hold on, the officer said, raising his hands in a halting gesture. Let's not start throwing accusations and insults around. It won't get us anywhere. Instead, I think our next step would be to look over your Pokeballs. The one carrying Meowth in particular. He looked down at Violet. Where are you keeping them at this moment? Do you have them on you?
Well, I don't know, actually. Most of my Pokemon were stolen right after leaving the center. That debris I was digging through, I was led into a trap there because this man wanted to steal my Pokemon. And then the whole building collapsed. I was trying to find if any of them were still there.
Convenient,
the attendant said. The officer frowned. How is having a building falling on top of you convenient?
I was referring to her missing Pokemon. Her story conveniently removes evidence.
Gesturing toward the attendant, the officer said, She does have a point.
It isn't convenient at all,
Violet shouted.
Nothing about my journey has been convenient. I nearly fell off a cliff twice in Mount Moon and lost the very first Pokemon I caught thanks to an annoying trainer who continually shows up in my way. Now I've been accused of stealing Pokemon twice. The Rockets are constantly trying to get me. I was practically struck by lightning, and then I was tricked into a condemned building where my Pokemon were stolen or lost, including my starter and the Pokemon I grew up with, who was the very last link I had to my father. And on top of it all, I have an excruciating headache right now. So yeah, it's been a real super convenient journey.
Violet's face was now red with frustration. Her eyes, filled with tears, glared unblinking into the officer's eyes. The officer was taken aback by the sudden intensity of the young girl. There was a stretch of time where no one said a word. Then the attendant broke in with a harsh tone.
"You're not falling for this act, are you?"
That was the last straw for Violet. She was tired of not being believed, and she exploded. With a harsh shove, the desk jerked toward the officer, causing some papers to shift, a framed photo to tip, and a cup of writing utensils to hit the ground. Then she pushed one foot onto the chair to lift her onto the desk, and she leapt through a gap between the officer and attendant and rushed for the door. Violet could hear them shouting at her to stop, but she ignored them and fled back out into the streets of Vermilion. She didn't make it very far before she stopped suddenly when she saw who was further down. A trio of men in black uniforms with a red R on their chests. Behind Violet, the officer, joined by more, exited the building. The girl didn't have a whole lot of options. She turned to the right and made to run that way, but stopped short when she discovered another man in her way. This one, despite the heat, was covered in heavy, ragged clothing, and a tattered scarf that covered most of his face. "Who's that guy?" asked the largest of the rocket trio. "He's the one White warned us about, the traitor," replied the large one's partner. The third one, the guy who had tried to sell a Magikarp to Violet, started to explain more. "Yeah, he was a top recruiter a long time ago until he stole a Pokemon from Team Rocket and went into hiding." "Oh," the big one said. "That's him? But didn't White say it was the same one we ran into?" Before he could finish, a Pokeball hit the man in the head and a Jolteon flashed onto the road. Taking the opportunity, the strange man they had been discussing sent out a Pokeball and released a Zubat. As it shot toward Violet, the girl thought she saw it carrying some kind of object. She didn't have time to get a good look as she tried to reach for her own Pokeball to defend herself, and then remembered she left the 3 she had left at the house where she had been recovering. Violet ducked and the Zubat went right by her. But then a Pokeball hit the ground at her feet. She tried to brace herself for whatever was going to come out of it, and then she heard a familiar voice issue a command. "Blastoise, hit that creep with everything you've got." Then something collided with Violet, and she felt herself rolling away from the commotion. She was mostly protected from scraping against the ground as she rolled, by someone else keeping her wrapped up in his arms. As they tumbled, she saw the man in heavy clothing come toward them, but then knocked away hard by a heavy stream of water. She assumed that must have been Blastoise's target. When the two stopped rolling, Violet looked up at her rescuer and found Shiro looking back down at her. "Are you all right?" Violet nodded once in surprise. "Very good. Then I'll be right back. I need to go deal with the problem at hand." Shiro rushed off back into battle, commanding his Jolteon and Blastoise. The Zubat the stranger had sent was struggling with the officers. The 3 rockets were dodging bolts of lightning, and it looked like they were trying to find where Violet had gone. The stranger made an odd flourish with one arm overhead, almost as if he was batting away a bee drill or something, only nothing was there. And then he sent in a Pidgey to fly out after Shiro while trying to protect from the onslaught of Blastoise's water. Distracted by the battle between the stranger and Shiro, Violet didn't notice the Zubat streaking toward her until it was right on top of her. She covered her head and felt something collide against her arm. And that was it. No attacking or screeching. Frowning, she uncovered her face and looked down. Once again there was a Pokeball laying at her feet. The first time, she had thought the Zubat was bringing in another Pokemon to help out in the attack. But that one never did open, and this one, or probably the same one, still wasn't opening. She looked up and saw the Zubat streak back toward the stranger who was returning Pidgey back into its Pokeball. He pulled out one more Pokeball as he motioned toward his opponents. The Zubat turned and let out an ear-splitting screech that did wonders for Violet's headache. The world started to spin and wobble as the noise pierced the air, and then Violet thought she saw something green pop out of the man's other Pokeball, and just as quickly as it appeared, it vanished, along with the stranger and the Zubat. To be continued.